Yo, I remember you. Man, I don't want to just give this up and give it away. I got to find a new purpose for you. Ooh, I got it.
Fam, I have got a treat for y'all. So, just to give you a little backdrop, you know, my wife has just been, on me about like, hey, you got a bunch of stuff. You're like a pack rat when it comes to, your equipment and all your stuff. Surely you're not using all of this stuff. So obviously, I had to go through my closets and, start figuring out like, okay, well, that's true. I got some stuff I probably haven't seen or bothered using in years. And sure enough, I came across my MPC Element. And here's the thing. I was thinking to myself, I was like, do I really want to just get rid of this thing? This is, the pads on here is dope. You know what I mean? I got my MPC Live, so obviously I don't use it anymore. But what got me thinking was, you know what? Let me go ahead and try to repurpose it for something else. Same thing, with my, my Akai APC 20. It's been in my closet for years. Haven't touched these controllers, MIDI controllers, in years. So, I've been diving back and forth between, Luna, Universal Audio's Luna. I also use Pro Tools. I got Pro Tools Session loaded up right here because here's the thing. I've figured out what the best thing to do is to repurpose these controllers, to be able to program my shortcuts to them. So I was using MIDI shortcut. I still use it on my other system, but on my, my main system that I do all my mixing and mastering on, it's like, what, let me go ahead and try out this, this Keyboard Maestro. And Keyboard Maestro has been like dope. I wish I would have came across it first before I came across MIDI shortcuts because, it's like it does everything that MIDI shortcut does, but on steroids. And but anyway, it's inexpensive. It's like $36, man, for this thing too. So let me pull it up here for you real quick. So yeah, keyboardmaestro.com. That's where you can find it. It's like, $36 for this thing. Oh, there it is right there. It was like $36, $36 for it if you want to buy it. But I would highly recommend it. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, this is something that's actually useful and it won't cost an arm and a leg. So what I'm going to do is actually walk you guys through on how I actually programmed my Akai MPC Element, to be able to use it. I've already done it, for the APC, but just for demonstration purposes, I want to show you how it's done on the Element. This is for Mac users, just to give you guys a heads up. I don't know what they're using for Windows. I don't use Windows for, my production anymore. Haven't used it Windows for probably like 17 years now. I've been off of Windows for doing music. Anyway, just let's get back to, to what I'm talking about here, which is the MPC Element. Well, first of all, you have to download the drivers. If you still happen to have an MPC Element around, you're going to have to install drivers from it. I went to the Akai website, a few days ago, and they have a link to it. The link is broken. However, I was able to reach out to the Akai support, and after a couple of days, they actually emailed me, the driver for it, which was dope. So I'm running off of Ventura, so let's see here. Hold on. So I'm running Mac OS Ventura, so the Akai MPC Element driver will work on it. Just to give you a heads up on it. If you happen to have the APC 20, it's just plug and play. There's no drivers to load, and the system will see it. But you got to have that driver if you're running the Element. So let's say, so let me open up Keyboard Maestro. So Keyboard Maestro has, you have like these groups. I created a group, I just went in here, actually I'm gonna create one real quick, and I'm just gonna call it test. This is a test group. Yeah. All right, cool. So inside of that test group, I'm gonna create a macro, and I'm just gonna call it Pro Tools Mixer Toggle Shortcut. Yeah, we'll just call it that, right? So now, if you happen to have, I have a control surface hooked up to, to my system. It's running Huey. If you have a control system at all, what I would highly recommend you do is turn that joke off, because it's constantly spitting MIDI information out. And there is a MIDI capture function on here inside of the Keyboard Maestro, and it's going to interfere with you trying to capture the proper, MIDI information. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and click on the trigger. So your trigger can be a number of different things. It could, it could be, keyboard, a hotkey trigger or whatever, right? Folder trigger. If you plug in a certain USB device, it'll trigger a macro and it'll do something. In this case, we want a MIDI trigger, right? Notice how it's going to come up. MIDI learn is already selected. On my MPC Element, I'm going to go ahead and just tap a key, right? Tap a pad. Automatically captures it, right? So it says MPC Element public. It's picking up channel 10, note 49. Once I do that, I'm getting rid of this check mark, because I don't want it. I don't want that MIDI learn being interfered with. I don't want to change that. Okay. Now, what I want it to do, whenever I hit that, right? I'm just going to click in here. There's some things you can tell it to do over here. A whole list of things, like, you can program to happen if this pad is pressed on the element, right? But in my case, what we want is, let's see here. We want to do a key press. Where are you at? Bear with me, y'all. It's in here. You can also do a search for different triggers as well. Here we go. Type of keystroke. Bam, right there. So I'm going to double click on type of keystroke. Right now, it's got a return that's in there. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to do command. Hold on. I'm going to click in there. Command equal sign. Bam, it's in there. Command equal sign. And make sure that it's active, triggered by any of the following. So if you want to deactivate it, you just click that, and when you want to make sure that it's enabled, you make sure you put a check in there, right? All right, let's go back into Pro Tools, right? Pro Tools, I'm going to go ahead, hit this pad over here. Bam, look at that. Just by hitting that pad, I get to toggle between my mixer window, right? The other cool thing I did, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my control surface right now. All right. This should go ahead and be seen. And if not, we'll go ahead and get it set up again. Go back into my peripherals, make sure. Oh, there it is. It's seen. Okay, cool. All right. Yep, it's active again. Cool. All right, now, so one of the things that's been like, a pain in the rear for me is the fact that, like, if I click on a track, it doesn't necessarily, the controller doesn't necessarily bank to reflect what's on the screen in my, on my mixer window, right? But what I did is I programmed a shortcut on one of my APC 20. So one of the pads on here, I got it configured so that way all I got to do is hover over whatever track I want. So let's say the JD 800, and then I hit the console bank, bam, my console shifts over to reflect the #1 spot of the JD. You see how it's highlighted inside of Pro Tools as well? You know, so any track that I actually want to be focused on, you know, so it's going to be like basically, you know, you got track 1 through 8 on my controller. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and switch this over so you can see that a little bit better, right? Okay, so the moment I hit the pad that I got programmed for my console banking, it's going to switch over and it's going to reflect what's on the screen. Okay, just like so. All right, let's do this button back over here. Let's try this guy here. And you don't actually have to click, you just have to hover. Make sure you're hovering over the name of the track. That's how that works. You hover over the name of the track, and then I hit my button right here. This is the button that this is the pad that I programmed for my console banking. Now let's look inside of Keyboard Maestro, okay, and see how I did that. So I got that under my group here. Console banking is right there. So I programmed it to a MIDI channel on the APC 20, as you can see right here. But down in here, what I did is I selected click, move and click at 00 from the current mouse location, right? And then the modifiers is basically your shift and what is that, the control? Yeah, so it's your shift and control, right? So shift and control is what does that. So if I were to do that manually, let's see here, if I were to do this manually, okay, yep, so if I were to hold down shift and control and then click into the channel that I want to come into focus or bank to, you know, that's basically what I'm simulating, but instead I'm doing it with just by hitting a pad on the controller. All right, so that's how that one's done. So let me go in here into the test real quick and I can show you, you know, let's say we'll go ahead and create a new macro. Okay, we'll just call this one test banking. Okay, if I go down here to the action and I'm just going to type in click, there it is, click or move. Okay, so that's in there now, right? So click or move. The other thing is too, let's see here, you want to make sure that it says without dragging. Okay, and you just basically, you're going to highlight, you're going to select these two modifiers, and then from there you're going to go ahead and just program, you know, your MIDI trigger, and that's how you do it. Okay, like I said, this Keyboard Maestro, super powerful, man. Love it. You know, I would highly recommend it to anybody, and I hope that you guys find new life for some of your old MIDI controllers, or even if you got a MIDI controller that you're using on a regular basis, but you got, you know, you got pads and buttons and stuff on there that you don't even use. You know, pick this up and program those pads to do some, you know, to trigger some of your shortcuts. All right, that's all I got for y'all.